The twin suns of Virelia 7 shone brightly over the alien city, casting long shadows of the towering crystalline buildings. The city looked alive, humming with energy and light, yet it carried an air of cold order. Flying vehicles zipped between high towers, and strange alien creatures moved through the streets, some carrying devices that glowed with colors humans had never seen before. Captain Aaron Hale stepped down from the transport shuttle. His boots crunched against the polished metallic ground. The human contingent behind him was tense, scanning the surroundings with caution. They were explorers, diplomats, and soldiers combined, but none of them had ever felt such alien energy before. Aaron adjusted his uniform and looked up at the towering gates of the city. A deep sense of calm ran through him, even as his mind recorded every detail of this new world. He had been trained to face danger calmly, and no matter what lay ahead, he would walk through it with confidence. From above the gate, a figure appeared. Tall, poised, and unmistakably regal. Her hair shimmered in a strange silvery blue light, cascading down her back. Her eyes glowed faintly, reflecting intelligence, confidence, and authority. This was Princess Leora, heir to the alien throne of Virelia 7. Aaron noticed the moment their eyes met. Leora's gaze was sharp, almost piercing, as if she were reading him in an instant. Her expression changed slightly when she saw him approach. A hint of amusement flickered across her face, like a predator observing prey. "Look at them," she said softly to a nearby aide. Her voice was musical but held a tone of mockery. "The humans are so fragile. And this one," she gestured toward Aaron, "thinks he can walk here without fear." The aide chuckled, bowing respectfully. "They are weak, Your Highness. They will be nothing here." Aaron did not respond. He walked steadily toward the palace entrance, ignoring the whispers and the stares. The sun reflected off his armor, polished to a metallic sheen. Leora's eyes followed every movement. She expected him to show hesitation, fear, or at least caution, but he walked as though he belonged here, as though he had every right to be on this alien world. The first humans who had come before had stumbled, faltered, or tried to mimic alien customs, and had failed. But Aaron was different, calm, composed, and steady. When they reached the ceremonial hall, Leora descended from her platform. She moved with grace and authority, her gown shimmering like liquid metal. Every step she took seemed to command the space around her. The humans watched in awe and caution, sensing the power she carried. "Captain Aaron Hale," she said, her tone light but mocking. "You've come to our world wearing armor like a child trying to play warrior. Do you truly believe this will protect you?" Aaron looked at her, unflinching. "It is not the armor that protects a human," he said evenly. "It is the will to stand, the courage to keep moving, and the mind to see what others cannot." The hall erupted in laughter. Aliens had never heard humans speak like this. Their strength was physical, measured by weapons, agility, and energy control. To speak of willpower and courage as strength seemed almost laughable. Leora stepped closer, her eyes narrowing. "Bold words for someone who looks so weak. Perhaps you are foolish. Perhaps you do not know what you face." Aaron stopped walking, but did not bow or show fear. Slowly, deliberately, he began to remove his armor. The alien court gasped. One by one, piece by piece, he shed the protective plating, leaving only his uniform. His weapons were secured behind him. "Foolish?" Leora repeated, her voice tinged with disbelief. "You are naked in our presence, human. Do you not fear harm?" Aaron's gaze met hers directly. "I do not fear what comes from strength. I fear only losing my purpose, losing the chance to stand and do what is right. Armor cannot protect that." For a moment, the hall was silent. Even the aides and soldiers of Virelia 7 seemed unsure of how to react. Leora's expression changed from mockery to curiosity. There was something in this human, something she had never seen in her people, something that did not rely on weapons or technology. The human soldiers behind Aaron tensed, They were trained to fight, but they trusted their captain completely. They understood that he was walking into danger with confidence, but also with strategy. Aaron had spent his life learning not just to survive battles, but to influence them with calmness and intelligence. Leora's lips curved into a half-smile. "You are bold," she said. "Perhaps even foolishly so. Do you not know that one wrong move will mean your end?" Aaron took another step forward. "Perhaps. But I do know this. Courage can make the impossible possible. And fear cannot rule me here." Some of the alien guards whispered among themselves. Never before had a human walked unarmed in the heart of their city and not cowered at the sight of power. Aaron's calmness was disarming. It unsettled them in ways brute force never could. Leora waved her hand, and a holographic display appeared in the air, showing the humans' past failures, battles lost, colonies defeated, mistakes that had cost lives. The princess hoped to intimidate him with history. Aaron studied the images carefully, nodding slightly. He spoke quietly, not to insult, but to make a point. History shows mistakes, yes. But it also shows learning, adapting, and rising above limits. Humans have survived threats you cannot imagine. Not because of strength, but because of determination. Murmurs rippled through the alien court. Some were impressed, others confused. Leora felt a flicker of frustration. How could this human, so seemingly weak and unarmed, speak with such certainty? "You speak like a child who does not understand danger," Leora said sharply. "Words cannot protect you here. Power decides everything." Aaron paused for a moment. Then, with deliberate calm, he continued walking. Not running, not showing fear, just walking steadily through the court. His gaze never wavered, and his movements were measured and confident. The alien soldiers, trained to intimidate and dominate, began to shift uneasily. The young princess, used to commanding absolute obedience, found herself watching, unsettled by a human who did not flinch, who did not bow, who did not yield. Aaron's walking was simple, yet powerful. He did not attack. He did not shout. He did not threaten. He simply moved forward with confidence and calmness. And it was enough to unsettle an entire court. Leora, now intrigued, stopped laughing. She studied him closely. "You are different," she said under her breath. "Why do you not fear me?" Aaron finally stopped a few paces away from her. His expression was calm, unwavering. "Because fear is not the way to victory. Courage and purpose are." A silence fell across the hall. Even the aide who had first mocked the humans did not speak. The air felt heavy with anticipation. Something had shifted. This human, this single soldier, had done something no one expected. He had forced respect without using a weapon. Leora tilted her head slightly. Her curiosity piqued. She had always believed strength and intimidation ruled the world. And yet, here stood a human who had walked into the heart of her city, unarmed, unafraid, and entirely composed. Aaron turned slightly, acknowledging the human soldiers behind him with a subtle nod. They felt a surge of confidence. If their captain could walk calmly in front of the most powerful princess in the galaxy, then they too could stand strong. "Perhaps," Leora said slowly, "this human is worth observing further." She raised her hand, signaling her guards to stand down. "For now, let him walk. But do not assume his journey is safe." Aaron nodded silently, walking past her with steady determination. His eyes never left the path ahead. The hall watched him in silence, some in admiration, some in disbelief. As he exited the ceremonial hall, Aaron knew this was only the beginning. Leora's mockery had failed to shake him, but it had stirred curiosity and challenge. The real test would come soon, the day he would face not only the alien princess but the full might of her civilization. But for now, he had sent a clear message. Human courage cannot be measured by armor or weapons. It is measured by the will to stand, the mind to act, and the heart to face fear calmly. And on Virelia 7, that was a message the aliens would never forget. The city of Virelia 7 was alive with energy, but Aaron Hale felt no fear. Every step he took in the alien streets seemed to carry a quiet power. The humans followed closely, keeping formation, but it was Aaron's calmness that guided them. The citizens of Virelia 7 paused to watch the strange human soldier, moving through the streets without armor, without fear, yet with confidence that demanded attention. Princess Leora observed him from the palace balcony. Her arms were crossed, her silver-blue hair glowing in the afternoon sun. She could not understand this human. No other being had walked in front of her court and refused to show fear. Not even the bravest of her soldiers dared challenge her with calmness. "He is still alive," she said quietly, "and he does not tremble." "Why?" Her aide looked uneasy. "Your Highness, humans are weak. Yet, there is something unusual about him. He carries himself like one of the great warriors of our history." Leora's eyes narrowed. "Unusual? Perhaps. Or foolish. I will see for myself." Aaron and his team reached the central plaza, a vast open space where citizens and soldiers gathered. The plaza was lined with alien statues, and hovering banners displayed holographic images of victories won by the alien empire. Leora descended from the balcony, walking gracefully toward them, her presence commanding immediate attention. The crowd fell silent. Even Aaron's human team felt the weight of the princess's gaze. But Aaron did not falter. He stood tall, chest forward, shoulders straight. He looked around at the plaza and then at Leora. His calmness was deliberate, calculated, and powerful in its simplicity. "You continue to walk in our city, human," Leora said, her voice carrying across the plaza. "You are bold, or perhaps foolish. Tell me, why do you not fear me?" Aaron took a measured breath. "Fear is not useful," he said. "It slows thinking, weakens judgment, and prevents action. Courage allows us to face challenges clearly and decisively. That is how humans survive." A murmur ran through the alien crowd. Some soldiers whispered to each other, unsure whether to admire or dismiss him. Leora's eyes flashed. She decided to test him. "Very well," she said. "If you wish to show courage, prove it. You will face a challenge designed to test your mind, body, and spirit. Should you fail, humans will leave Virelia 7 immediately, and your species will gain no respect here." Aaron nodded. "I accept your challenge." The princess waved her hand, and a series of holographic obstacles appeared in the plaza. They were illusions of danger. Fire, pits, shifting platforms, and alien weapons. Citizens gasped as the illusions twisted and moved, creating an environment that was almost impossible to navigate. This was not just a test of physical skill, it was a test of observation, quick thinking, and courage under pressure. Aaron's human team looked at him nervously. "Captain, are you sure?" one of them asked. Aaron smiled slightly. "Stay back. Watch and learn. Humanity survives not through fear, but through strategy and calmness." The first obstacle was a pit that appeared beneath his feet. Aliens watching expected him to fall. Instead, Aaron paused, observing the holographic patterns carefully. He stepped lightly to the side, avoiding the trap. Step by step, he moved through the illusions, his eyes sharp, mind alert. He was unarmed, yet each movement was precise, careful, and confident. The aliens gasped. "How?" one whispered. "He is moving as if he can see the traps before they appear." Leora frowned. "This human. He is calculating. He is not relying on strength. He is using his mind. That is troubling." Aaron continued through the illusions, facing more challenges. Swinging energy blades, shifting holographic walls, and simulated explosions. At every obstacle, he paused, calculated, and moved with purpose. He never hesitated in fear. Every citizen watching could feel it. He was not afraid of harm. He was not controlled by the environment. He was controlled by his own mind. Halfway through, a group of young alien soldiers approached. hoping to intimidate him. They raised their energy weapons, ready to strike. Aaron did not stop. He simply continued walking, keeping his eyes ahead, his posture steady. The soldiers hesitated. Their training taught them to expect fear, submission, or panic. This human displayed none of those. Princess Leora stepped forward, her voice sharp. "Stop him!" The soldiers attacked, firing energy nets to ensnare him. Aaron stopped for a moment, analyzing. With careful timing, he sidestepped, letting the nets miss entirely, and continued his steady march forward. The crowd murmured in awe. Even Leora's aides were speechless. "This is impossible," one of them whispered. "No one can move like this, unarmed. Unarmored." Yeah. Aaron reached the final obstacle. A holographic chasm that stretched across the plaza. It appeared bottomless, filled with illusions of fire and falling debris. Leora smirked. "Surely this will stop you," she said. Aaron studied the chasm. He did not jump blindly, nor did he hesitate in fear. Instead, he noticed patterns in the holographic projection. The floor moved slightly with each pulse of light. He stepped carefully, timing his movements with precision. Each step was deliberate, cautious, and calculated. Slowly, steadily, he crossed the chasm, his eyes never leaving the path ahead. When he reached the other side, the crowd erupted in astonishment. Humans had walked into their city unarmed, faced impossible illusions, and survived intact. Aaron turned to face them. His calm, steady gaze met Leora's, unyielding, unafraid, and unwavering. The princess's lips pressed into a thin line. She was frustrated, but also intrigued. "You are remarkable," she admitted, though her voice barely carried across the plaza. "No human has ever faced my court and walked through danger like this." "How?" Aaron's expression remained calm. "Strength is not measured only by weapons or physical ability. It is measured by courage, strategy, and the willingness to face fear. That is how humans survive, and that is how they thrive." Some alien soldiers began to whisper to each other. "Perhaps we have underestimated them," one said quietly. Others nodded, feeling admiration for the human's calm and intelligence. Leora's mind raced. She had always believed in strength through power, intimidation, and technology. But this human, unarmed and calm, had demonstrated a different kind of strength, one that relied on intelligence, courage, and purpose. She waved her hand, deactivating the illusions. The plaza fell silent. "You have passed this test," she said slowly. Her eyes locked on Aaron. "But this is only the beginning. You have proven strategy and calmness. Yet the true measure of courage will come when the stakes are higher." Aaron nodded. "I am ready for that." Humans do not turn back from challenges. We adapt, we endure, and we rise above obstacles. No matter how impossible they seem. Leora stepped down from her platform and walked closer, her presence commanding attention. "You speak boldly, human. But your confidence will be tested further. You will face not only illusions, but decisions that test your heart, your honor, and your determination. Are you ready for that?" Aaron's gaze did not waver. "Always. Courage is not only facing danger. It is facing it with purpose, with calm, and with clarity. Humans do not fear challenges, they learn from them." The alien crowd began to murmur in approval. Some soldiers and citizens were inspired. They had always respected physical strength above all else. Yet here was a human, showing a different kind of strength, one born from mind and heart, rather than weapons. Princess Leora realized something important. If humans could survive challenges without relying on power alone, they were not to be underestimated. Her assumptions about weakness were being shattered, and that realization, though uncomfortable, fascinated her. She raised her hand, signaling her guards to lower their weapons. "You have impressed me, human. But remember this: respect is not given freely. It must be earned through continued courage, strategy, and honor." The next test will determine whether your species truly deserves a place in this world. Aaron nodded, acknowledging the challenge without fear. He had already earned the first level of respect by walking calmly, thinking clearly, and demonstrating courage in a way the aliens had never expected. The next challenge would be more personal, more direct, and it would test not only his skill, but his heart. As Aaron and his team walked back through the plaza, the humans felt a surge of confidence. Their captain had proven that even in an alien world filled with power, intimidation, and technology, a human could stand tall, unarmed, and unafraid. Aaron knew that the true challenge lay ahead with Princess Leora herself. She had witnessed his courage, his calmness, and his intelligence. Now she would test him directly, face to face. And he was ready. For humans, the greatest strength was not in weapons, not in armor, but in courage, intelligence, and the willingness to face fear with purpose. And Aaron Hale was the living proof of that principle, walking through a world that had never before seen such calm determination. The story of a human who could walk unarmed through an alien court, facing illusions, traps, and mockery, was spreading quickly through Virelia 7. Citizens and soldiers whispered about his courage. Some felt admiration, others disbelief, and Princess Leora herself could not deny the spark of respect growing in her heart. This was only the beginning. The real test was yet to come, a challenge that would measure the human spirit against the full force of alien expectations. But for now, Aaron had made his mark. Humanity had shown its strength. Not through weapons, not through intimidation, but through calmness, courage, and clarity of mind. And Virelia 7 would never forget the name of the human soldier who walked through their city unarmed, unafraid, and unbroken. The royal arena of Virelia 7 stretched vast and circular under the twin suns, its walls glittering with alien metals that reflected the light in thousands of colors. Citizens, soldiers, and nobles filled the stands, their eyes fixed on the center where a single figure awaited. Captain Aaron Hale stood unarmed, calm, and composed. His uniform was simple, his posture straight. He did not flinch at the thousands of eyes watching him, nor at the alien princess who stepped forward with authority and expectation. Princess Leora appeared at the other side of the arena. Her silvery blue hair glimmered in the sunlight, and her eyes burned with curiosity, challenge, and a hint of frustration. She had tested Aaron before, through illusions, traps, and challenges in the plaza, but now she would face him personally. She would see if the human's courage and calmness could survive direct confrontation. "You have walked through my city unarmed," she said loudly, her voice echoing through the arena. "You have faced illusions and traps with courage and strategy. You have survived where others would have fallen. But now, human, the true test begins. Can you face me alone, unarmed, without fear?" Aaron's gaze did not falter. "I am ready. Strength is not only in weapons. True strength is measured by courage, integrity, and the will to face fear." The crowd murmured. Even the aliens, accustomed to power and intimidation, felt a strange energy from the human. Leora's pride pushed her forward, but curiosity and respect lingered in her eyes. She raised her hand, and energy blades formed around her, hovering and glowing with deadly precision. She did not strike immediately. Instead, she circled Aaron slowly, observing him, testing him, looking for fear, hesitation, or weakness. Aaron remained calm. He did not move to attack, nor did he flinch. He simply observed, calculated, and prepared mentally. Every step, every motion of Leora's energy blades was being carefully measured. He understood one truth. Fear gives power to the opponent. Calm gives power to the self. The first strike came swiftly, a wave of energy aimed to push him backward. Aaron did not dodge hastily. He stepped aside with perfect timing, letting the energy pass harmlessly. The crowd gasped. Humans did not have alien reflexes, but Aaron's mind worked faster than most could comprehend. Leora's eyes widened. "Interesting," she whispered. He does not move blindly. He calculates. He predicts. She increased the intensity of her strikes. Energy whips, hovering discs, and bursts of light came at him from all angles. Yet Aaron remained composed. He moved carefully, but decisively, finding paths that kept him safe while showing no sign of panic. Every movement was deliberate, every decision clear. A section of the arena floor shifted suddenly, rising and falling to simulate unstable terrain. Other humans would have stumbled, fallen, or panicked, but Aaron adjusted his steps, anticipating the movement, his balance perfect, his mind sharp. The crowd began to whisper in amazement. He is not afraid, one soldier said. Not even when the entire arena works against him. Leora's pride pushed her further. She stepped closer, striking faster, using all her power. But Aaron's calm remained. He did not strike back, but he did not yield either. His presence alone, steady, unwavering, and fearless, was becoming a challenge to her assumptions about power. The princess paused for a moment, studying him closely. Your courage is remarkable, she said. But courage alone cannot win. You must act, or you will be destroyed. Aaron shook his head slightly. Courage, clarity, and purpose are enough to survive. I do not need to strike to show strength. Strength is not weapons. Strength is in standing tall, in thinking clearly, and in facing challenges without fear. Some of the alien spectators began to nod slowly. They were beginning to understand what Aaron embodied. In their society, power and intimidation had ruled for centuries. But here was a human showing them a new kind of strength, strength of mind, heart, and will. Leora's frustration grew. How could someone so seemingly weak, so unarmed, stand against her fully powered? She realized that physical attacks alone were meaningless against someone who refused to fear, refused to panic, and refused to react blindly. With a swift motion, Leora created a holographic battlefield around them, making it appear as though they were surrounded by falling debris, energy storms, and shifting platforms. The illusions were dangerous, designed to test not only reflexes but the mind. Aaron observed calmly. Each illusion was carefully analyzed. He predicted the shifts, timed his steps, and moved steadily, never rushing, never panicking. Step by step, he navigated the chaotic environment, proving once again that human intelligence and composure were as deadly as alien power. Leora stepped forward. You are skilled, she admitted aloud, but you do not understand the final test. It is not about survival. It is about your heart, your choices, your principles, your honor. Are you prepared to face that? Aaron nodded. Humans do not abandon their principles. We face challenges with courage and integrity. That is how we survive. That is how we earn respect. The princess's eyes softened, almost imperceptibly. She realized that Aaron was not trying to challenge her physically, but morally and mentally. His calmness, courage, and integrity were challenging her assumptions about leadership, power, and strength. The arena grew quiet. Citizens, soldiers, and nobles watched in complete silence. Leora tested him not with weapons, but with words, illusions, and moral dilemmas projected by holograms, images of her people in danger. Choices that could harm humans or aliens. She expected him to hesitate, falter, or panic, but Aaron's mind worked clearly. He considered each scenario carefully. He did not panic. He did not act rashly. He chose paths that demonstrated wisdom, compassion, and courage simultaneously. Every decision he made was deliberate, fair, and brave. The crowd erupted in astonishment. A human, unarmed and calm, had faced challenges that alien warriors with centuries of training might fail. He had moved through illusions, survived physical danger, and made moral choices under pressure. The spectators began to see him not as a weak human, but as a being worthy of respect. Leora stepped back, her expression unreadable. She had expected a human to fear, to falter, to fail. But here was Aaron, standing tall, calm, and confident. She realized that she could not intimidate him with power, mockery, or skill alone. He had shown her that true strength comes from the heart and mind, not weapons or appearance. Finally, she lowered her energy blades. The arena was silent. Eren remained standing, calm and composed. He had faced the ultimate test, and he had not faltered. "You have done something no human has ever done," Leora said, her voice carrying across the arena. "You have faced every challenge, physical and moral, without fear or hesitation. You have earned respect not through power, but through courage, clarity, and integrity. You have proven that humans are not weak." Eren nodded respectfully. "Respect is earned, not demanded. Courage, wisdom, and integrity are stronger than any weapon. Humans survive because we face challenges with heart, mind, and will. That is our true strength." The alien crowd erupted into applause, some cheering, some in awe. Even the soldiers began to lower their weapons, realizing that the human before them was not a threat. In the traditional sense, he was a symbol of a different kind of power. Leora's expression softened further. She realized that she had underestimated humans, assuming that strength was only physical. Here was proof that they possessed qualities that could rival even the greatest alien warriors: courage, clarity, intelligence, and honor. "You have changed my perspective," she admitted, raising her hand to silence the crowd. "Humans are not to be dismissed. They are strong, in ways we have not understood. Today, you have earned respect not only for yourself, but for your species." Eren bowed slightly, acknowledging the gesture. He had not sought victory through intimidation or force. He had walked calmly, thought clearly, and acted with courage. That alone had earned him respect. The princess extended her hand. "Captain Eren Hale, you have faced Virelia 7 with bravery, intelligence, and honor. You have shown us that strength is more than weapons, that courage is more than force. Humans have a place here, if they choose to earn it." Eren took her hand, a gesture of mutual respect. "Humans will work with those who value courage, wisdom, and integrity. Together, we can achieve more than force alone." The arena erupted in applause. Citizens and soldiers cheered, amazed at what they had witnessed. Humans had walked unarmed into the heart of their world, faced illusions, moral dilemmas, and direct challenge, and emerged respected and unbroken. For Princess Leora, this was a revelation. She realized that the future of her people, and perhaps of the galaxy, could be shaped not just by power and intimidation, but by courage, integrity, and mutual respect. Eren Hale had not only survived the ultimate challenge, he had changed perceptions, earned respect, and shown humanity's true strength. And as the sun set over Virelia 7, its twin rays casting golden light across the arena, one truth was clear to everyone watching: humans survive, not because of weapons or armor, but because of courage, intelligence, and the will to stand tall against impossible odds. And Captain Eren Hale would be remembered forever as the human who walked unarmed into an alien world and left a mark stronger than any weapon could make.